Hello everybody and welcome back to the Horizon SMP. I'm recording this pretty much directly after the last episode, hence the fact that stuff is still here. I'm still on my own. Nobody has joined me to say hello. And the reason why I've decided to just record instead of speeding up doing this or anything fancy is because I have something to sort of talk about, and it's the internet in the UK. We've had some issues recently, sort of basically everyone on our line. Recently it sort of fixed itself, like this is the longest it's been okay for. But our internet speed, just to let you know, sort of future reference, anywhere between 4 to 5 megabits download and between 0.4 and 1 megabits upload. Hence the fact sometimes videos end up going out astonishingly late. Although probably the internet is not usually the only factor in that. But also the reason why when I did stream, I used to stream at a very low resolution, and why I've sort of stopped recently. This sort of looks like a cactus. As in, like an actual real world cactus, not a Minecraft cactus. A cartoon representation of a real life cactus. So yeah, restarting it would fix it for about 5 minutes, and then it just started going downhill. It did disconnect all the time. Neighbours were also having similar issues, although we have the fastest internet on the sort of the row of our houses. The internet in the UK is terrible. In the city, I'm on copper broadband, by the way, the ADSL. In the city on ADSL, you can get maybe 12, 15, maybe 20 if you live like right next door to the exchange. I know someone who does. They get 20 just on copper. Fiber optic is sort of in my area. If you don't understand why copper is such a sort of a problem, it is because the latest fastest that the UK has is fiber optic, which is light passing down a wire. It can travel longer distances without some of the quality of the signal or the bandwidth being lost. But currently, sort of the default for the UK is it running through the copper wires that the telephones use. But they're slowly trying to roll out fiber. But the issue is back when they were installing the copper wiring for when they were wiring everything up for telephones, the UK government set up a company or a group called British Telecom, or Telecommunications, I suppose is the full name. It's often referred to now as BT, and they were sold off in I think the 1980s by Margaret Thatcher. It was privatized basically, so instead of it being now state-run, it's its own company. It can do whatever it wants. Recently, the same happened to Royal Mail. Like the sort of the post office. Her Royal Highness's postal delivery system is now not Her Royal Highness's anymore. It was sort of the government's anyway. That's why it's called Royal Mail. I don't think Parcel Force, that parcel company, was owned by them. Anyway, getting off topic. So they were in like 1980. British Telecom was made to its own company, so it could trade better. It got a lot of shareholders. I think my mum actually has shares in BT. One thing that they decided to so fast forward to a few years ago, like maybe 2008, 2009, they awarded a contract to BT No, let me just go back a little bit. So, the government still wanted some control over the copper wiring, because obviously the copper wiring was owned by BT, and they were going to privatise BT, which would basically mean that BT, as a private normal company, would have a monopoly over the telephone wires. So, what they did is they created a second company called OpenReach. And the idea behind OpenReach is they do sort of all the... They're still a BT company. They're not a completely separate company. That's, you know, it says on the side of the van, it's part of the BT group. But what they do is they are the ones that work on the copper wires. Break these signs. Can use them for strip mining later. So basically that is that allows the government to sort of still have some control over it and have it separate from BT, the company, which, you know, like it's sort of like any other media company now, you know, it has TV and whatever. So when it comes to installing fiber optic, they decide, you know, it was sort of a negotiation process. And I think Virgin Media might have also got a sort of a deal in it. But basically the contract was given to BT. One of the big factors being how well they laid out the original copper, whenever that was, for the telephone lines. Now, the issue with that is now, instead of it being a government organisation, it's a regular business with shareholders that they have to keep happy. So, what you've got to imagine is say it costs £1,000 to lay 1 mile of fibre optic cable. If you had that 1 mile of fibre optic cable and you were a business, where would you lay it? Would you lay it in the countryside, where there might not be any houses to use it at all? Or would you use it in the city, where there might be like a high-rise flat, or even just like 20 houses up and down the street? You'd put it in the city or the town, wouldn't you? Because there's more people there who are actually going to help pay and get you back into profit for what you outlaid to pay for the fibre. So the rural communities are sort of being left behind, and not only were they being left behind, but the local councils were actually having to give BT money to help to sort of pay for it as well. So I mean, local councils don't have that much money anyway. So what you've basically got is you've got a company which the government decided to go with because of how well they'd done previously, but that was the only reason why they did it so well before was because it was run by the government, and it was the government which sorted itself out. The government basically handed over the reins to what's basically now a private company. So I keep thinking I have sort of speed. Oh, it's because I've got Death Strider, that's why. Okay, that's good. That actually helps in this situation. So yeah, they're basically giving it to just a normal random company. They have a, you know, and you can sort of really see that showing. Another thing is the fact that they're not really doing it properly. I'll put that in air quotes, but I'm on a keyboard, so just imagine I did air quotes. If you don't know how the wires, the system works for copper cables, you have there isn't like one cable which comes out of your house and connects with every single person in the world, obviously. So the sort of the switchboards and different things, but there's these things called cabinets. They're in your kitchen. Go play with them. So what that is basically cabinets connect together, and then cabinets then connect to your house. So for example, say Manchester, that's a big city. You would have one big cabinet in the center of the city, where the wire would come up, say, from London. It'd connect into there. It would then split out into cabinets which are sort of the boroughs, you know, sort of your north of the center, east of the center, south of the center, west of the center. Obviously, there's a lot more than that. And then from there, they split out to the homes. And what BT are doing is they're creating fiber optic broadband to the cabinet. So that basically means it goes to the, in most cases, like 95% of the places, it means it goes, they lay fiber optic to the cabinet before it splits off to the homes. So it's not too bad. It's not like it's going miles, you know, it might be a mile and that's it before it gets to your house, so you're not going to have a massive drop in speed. Now around where I live, what they're doing is they're doing fiber to the cabinet to, in my previous example, the sort of middle of Manchester. They're not doing, you know, there's a good 5 miles of copper between, even more probably, between the fiber and my house, which means that advertised speeds we won't get. So the base speed you can get with fiber optic is meant to be 36 megabits per second. The best we can get in our village is 20. So basically we're paying a premium to get fiber optic, which the fiber optic is actually just as good as what the cities have been getting for a long time on just normal copper, because of how close everybody is. Now, it's not too bad, I suppose. You're going for 5 to 20, it's not too bad, but I mean, we're ready to double, we were ready for when it comes in to double the speed. You can get you can get the normal speed, which I think is like £23 a month for 36 megabits per second, and I think it's 5 up. So yeah, upload speeds are not fantastic, but there you go. Or you can get 76 down, no, 72 down, and 10 up, which is what we were going to go for, because it's only £6 more. But I mean, that is 40 if ours makes any sense, and it might not even work that way. So yeah, that sucks. And another thing is the fact that it's only through half of the village. And guess which half does not have it? It's kind of annoying because there's a pub literally like a minute's walk. It's a minute's walk, and the road which that is on is sort of like on a junction of a road. The wire goes down that junction, so it's like, it's not even like I live on the opposite side of the village to it. It just misses us out in the middle. It's freaking annoying. Like, it could practically run, and also they went over like a weird back road instead of coming up the main road, because my house is sort of on the main road. Like, if they'd have come up the main road, I would have paid, well, my dad would have paid, for like to take a fiber optic cut off from the main fiber optic line, go straight to our house and have our like 500 megabits a second that you can sort of get from a direct fiber connection. Another issue we have is that the BT moan if you're not on the first connection which comes into your house. Our connection splits in half. One phone line is downstairs in the front room, or that sort of the living room if you don't live in the UK. And the other one basically goes up the wall and comes into my room, which is good because I play games. I can wire, you know, my IMAX wired straight into the router, and my PS3 and my PS4. My PS3 has to be because its Wi-Fi is terrible, but it is an original. It is an original. We can't over exactly blame it. I'll have to fix that at some point. So I'm scared that even if we did ask for this fiber, because they have to come in and put in a special box in your house, even though it's basically fiber to, even though it's the same copper connection we've still been using, we still have to have a separate modem and router, because currently most routers, whatever you want to call them, come with like a modem built in for just normal ADSL broadband, which is what we're on. including the BT hub, which is a brilliant router. It's, you know, BT is the fastest around here, and also its default router is amazing. Like any other broadband companies we've been, they've been incredibly slow, and we've replaced it with our own modems and routers. Like no, this one is fantastic. The BT Home Hub. It's a weird shape. It's an annoying. It's sort of like it's flat. It stands up. Google it. BT Home Hub like 5 or whatever it is. I think it's the 5th one. Like they keep updating it. It's good. I think you could, like another thing is that I'm pretty sure that if you like report a problem with your modem, they'll give you the new one if the new one ever comes out. I think the 6 is out right now, but it's basically just like a tiny upgrade to the 5. So yeah, the internet in the UK sucks, and it's not. It's like at least the government is trying to do something. It's not like America where it's sort of left down to the company. In a way, it sort of is now, because of the way the government just sort of gone. Oh, you did really well last time, and we owed you. We'll give it you now while you're now a proper business and have to please my mum, who's a shareholder. I'm pretty sure she's a shareholder in BT. So, yeah, the internet issues in the UK are ridiculous, especially for rural areas. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the original rollout, while it might have taken more time to come to villages and stuff for the original telephone rollout, you know, it was the government. So if they missed out rural areas, then rural people would not vote for the people who decided that wasn't a good idea. So they had to do everywhere. Whereas now it's sort of we're now just an ordinary business. We can do whatever we want. We have to make our shareholders happy. We need to make all the profit we can. So we're going to install it in cities first because we'll get our investment back. Another thing is the fact that our 4G is ridiculously expensive. I mean, we're sort of in a monopoly where we live because EE. I mean, people annoy me when they say, "Oh, well, where I live, I don't get 3G, so I won't go with this carrier." It's like, well, how often are you going to need to use your 3G or your 4G at home? As long as you have signal to receive normal text messages, when you're at home, you're going to be using like the internet on your Wi-Fi, aren't you? Like, unless you're a teenager which goes around the village in a hoodie, like, then obviously there's going to be no issues. I'm going to go and get a drink because my throat is dying. But let me just perch myself up here so I don't drown. Okay, I'm back. I've got a drink. Diet Coke with a citrus zest. If you're in the UK and you've ever had Coke at a pub, and they've had a lemon in, and they sort of give you that slightly different taste, you can get that in a can. Diet Coke citrus zest. They're great. Don't say that while in a tiger shoot shagging somebody. Old English news. So as I was saying, I think that mobile phone contracts in the UK are ridiculously overpriced. I mean, I have an iPhone 6 Plus, 16 gig in white, and I pay £35 a month. This is with EE, by the way. Hello? Why can I not? That's very strange. I'll fix that later. That's not what I wanted to do. Can I fix this? Let's just fix this nice and slowly. So yeah, so I paid £35 a month, paid £250 for the phone, and I have unlimited texts, minutes, and 2 gigs of data. Everybody on EE gets, even if you pay £10 a month, you get unlimited texts and minutes. It's just the data that swaps about. I have 2 gigs of data. I believe it's standard speed. You can also get double speed. I think mine's just standard. I was struggling to get the money to pay for it in the first place. In fact, I need to cancel Netflix because Netflix is shit. I'll go back to it if the next Orange is the New Black came out. I've kept it for so long. You know, I kept it for like 4 months, not watching it at all, just for when the new House of Cards came out. Could have just saved, what is it, like £7 a month, 21 quid. I very rarely use it. I use Popcorn Time occasionally. It's one of those things where I will watch it on Netflix unless it's not on Netflix, and then I'll pirate it because you're not giving me the content I want. I'm also somebody who pirates for demo purposes. You know, if the demo is crap or there isn't one, I will pirate and then buy it. I mean, that happened with a lot of games. It happened with Minecraft. I kind of want a second Minecraft account. You know, just sort of as a backup. And also as a camera account. Is that it? That's beautiful. We need one more layer. Oh, stop! I stopped you with the stupid lag glitches. Maybe once you sort of tap them. There you are. They'll get rid and hopefully get rid. Another thing which sort of tells you they're ridiculously overpriced is I was looking at a job listing for someone for a call center for Know-How, which are sort of the support side of a few popular chains of sort of technology shops, PC World, Currys, which are sort of the same thing now, and Car Film Warehouse. They recently bought them, or they sort of merged, but yeah, someone bought somebody. It's very rare for them to just merge. But it's quite funny because the PC World near me actually had Phone to View in it, but they were bust. Yay for Car Film Warehouse basically being the only like non-carrier only shop anymore. Yeah, so in the job listing it says, sort of perks of the business, you get 5 or 10% off electronics, I can't quite remember. So, I mean, that's average, there's not that much money to be made in, say, PC parts, they sort of have to be careful, I mean, not everyone's going to get a massive TV, which they might be able to make money on, I'm not sure. But then it said, if you have an EE contract, we can offer you 40% off. And they still have to make profit on contracts, so at least half of the money you pay to them has got to be profit. And it's got to be, I mean, AT&T or Verizon or somebody, I was watching the WAN show, said that 97% of, broadband cost is profit. It's just ridiculous, and I don't think that it's right. Especially when you're not offering a good service. I mean, I feel sorry for you Americans when you're trying to take the step that's about 3 steps in front of us. I mean, we don't have cable anything like in the UK. It's all satellite mostly for our TV. Can I get out this way? No. So yeah, that's our pool refilled. We've also talked about the state of Britain's economy. I hope you enjoyed. I'm also going to steal this. What's in here? Good things. I'm going to steal your fire resist potion. You see, you didn't need your stinking fire resist potions. I did it all without. I am a better man than either of you women. Does that make sense? So yeah, we'll just move some of this stuff back in here. Wow, I've already used so much of that efficiency shovel up already. Shovel. ready to talk sometimes. Let's also, oh yeah, we need to actually pick up the rest of this stuff. There's also this chest as well, which I think people keep adding and changing to, so I'll leave it alone. But you abandon this stuff here. If they want any of this stuff, like, feel free to take it back. I should also break this. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it! I'm happy that they didn't kill Tesco. Come here, Tesco. Alright, Tesco, into the sunset. Another good thing about this, with it being glass, is you don't suffocate going out the door. You can get through. She's a fairly quick horse. Doesn't jump like at all, but well, can gloss over that. I'm gonna kill this enderbird. It's gone. I was thinking it'd be hilarious if the whatsamajigger was directly under my house. I could pay people to come into it, like guided tours. I want to claim the end, and I want to make it a moon base. I'm gonna make it into a seahorse again, Tesco. I've always wanted to make a moon base in vanilla. I might do it in my single player though, because it's not like it's a joint end. I mean, I wouldn't mind people making the thing, you know, like the spawner, or the Enderman farms, because they're always sort of off the edge. But I want a moon base. Yeah, you know, put jump 2 beacons everywhere, so it's sort of like low gravity. I might do that in the single player. Gotta fight the Ender Dragon sometime soon. Hint, possibly for future videos. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, click the like button. It helps me a lot. Remember to subscribe to YouTube videos every single day. Hopefully the internet holds up and I can get these up on time. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheerio.